Okay, recording this video on Tuesday, the 3rd of January 2017. First trading day of the year. Hope you traded it well. So, I'm going to attach today's day trade from me shortly and just kind of walk you through a couple of points on the chart. But just to say, we've now changed location again. We are in the beautiful garden island of Kauai in the Hawaiian Islands. And that means the trading day starts for me at 4:30 in the morning until we get the time change, and then it'll be 3:30 in the morning. But for the time being, 4:30 in the morning it is, which actually isn't too much of a stretch at the moment because we're still kind of messed around from all the time zones in Europe. So getting up for 4:30 was a breeze for me today. Anyway. First trading day of the year and a big reversal day. A whole bunch of markets kind of reversed mid-morning, kind of went the other day. E-mini was one of them. Crude was another. I'll show you the crude chart in a second. But anyway, here's the 500 tip bar chart, multiple time frame view of the E-mini. This is the open of the day. This is the pre-open activity where we started our little rally, all red on the way up. And we finished off really nice with a pullback to end of trend on the highest time frame. And that's what this big white dot means, highest time frame, end of trend. And it synced up with exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, and then we dropped off into this downtrend. A couple of things to note. First of all, the 11 a.m. window is here. And we kind of look like we're finding some support kind of midday around these kind of levels. But it's not going to lead to a reversal to kind of go the other way. Maximum 2 trend moves a day. That's one of the rules of thumb. We've had our uptrend. We've now had our downtrend. We have not reversed by 11 a.m. That was the reversal before 11 a.m. So it was a good reversal. Are we going to find some strength? Maybe a little bit, but it's going to be weak. You know, it's like the 2 trends for today were the blow-off move and then the taking profits leading into a bit of a kind of ugly decline move here. And that's it for the day. We're just going to fuss around these kind of levels. There's going to be no trading opportunities here. The opportunities were here and here. So that's the first thing to say. The second one is I'm going to zero in on this chart a little bit and show you some detail of the takeoff here into this uptrend move. That is what I'll show you. So there is the open of the day. We kind of fuss around, find some supports here. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence comes in. We just test and test and test. No blue professional bars at the lows. Okay, picking it up here. We had some big news items out, PMI, ISM, 8:45 and 9 a.m. And that's where this move kind of started off, just after 9 a.m. And there's a whole cluster of blue professional bars. That is a gathering. That is getting ready for this up move. And you have some real strength here. This is kind of exhaustion buy signals, but this is what I more call explosive volume. You need big volume to get a move going, and then the big volume for the professionals to take their profits. So this is, they're just buying on that little expectation of a breakout out above the previous high, and then we set off into this uptrend. So it's a gathering pattern, really high levels on better momentum, showing they're just buying everything, and then they need to dump it. Once they've taken profits up here, more blue professional bars coming at the highs, and we take profits up there with more exhaustion buying, and that's where they lay it off, and they're out. They're done for the day. I forget who this is. I'm going to have to check my emails. I had a very good email from one of the subscribers a couple of months ago. They were talking about how they often see professional patterns right in the middle of these kind of trend moves, and you can almost measure the load to that professional activity in the middle of the move to the next time the professionals kind of come in. I think that's a good observation. They kind of happen on the retrace there. If you see, there's really just one blue professional bar kind of taking profits on the way up. This one was they were dumping quickly up here because we go through the lows pretty quickly, but then they kind of, the professionals picked it up here. But what I did want to show is that gathering pattern, an exhaustion pattern, showing that they were just buying everything that was available. That's why the reading's so high, and then they dump it off up here with a blow-off move kind of as they get rid of their positions. So that's that, and then this thing fell into a pretty strong downtrend here. As soon as we've broken supports on 2 time frames, bang, we're in a confirmed downtrend and we're on our way down. And what we're trying to do is to play the exhaustion moves, exhaustion volume to exhaustion volume. We have exhaustion sell here, bullish divergence comes in, bang, that's where we're trying to take a good position and kind of get going. This one kind of at the beginning of the move going in this direction is getting the move going. This one is taking profits, so we're trying to be getting in after this bullish divergence, getting out after this bearish divergence, and getting short into this move. I wasn't trading that short. I'd taken a nice little trade here, long 50 even, out at 56, coming out here. Having had a couple of little ones, just a little long trade that was a loss of half a point, almost a break-even trade, a quarter-point loss on a short trade as I was trying to figure out which direction we were going. Then as soon as those blue professional bars kind of come in, you got confirmation that this thing is going higher. Blue professional bars, and then we break above them. That's what you're looking for to go into this kind of blow-off move. And don't be afraid of these exhaustion patterns right here, because that's them just eating up everything that's available, getting the move going until we have the blow-off move. So there we go. That was today's activity. And crude, yeah, just to show you what's happening on crude, because there's a whole bunch of markets kind of reversed today. Crude was one of the biggest ones. You can see here, this is today's activity so far. We opened and made a break for 55, and then we came all the way back down into the 52s. Now, as everybody knows who's a kind of frequent subscriber, I'm heavily weighted towards crude at the moment. Got OIH, got RSX, and this thing I think is on its way. But what we're doing is we're playing down this is the kind of stage where we're testing it kind of as the last opportunities for kind of the professional money to just check that we're not going to test the lows, that we're actually kind of on our ways up, and you know, they don't want to make it too easy. So I'm not freaked out by this kind of failed breakthrough 55. It's just another ploy just to push it down, kind of get people freaked out, thinking, well, it's kind of not going to break, I need to kind of get out of my longs and go shorts, or whatever it is. But these are the most important bars. The latest ones here through 46 to 50, this blue professional bar getting the move going, another one kind of following it up. I know it's kind of weak buying because of all these amateur patterns, but you know, that's all holiday stuff. That's why the amateur stuff kind of shows off. It's shows up around this time of year. It's low average trade size. You know, a lot of amateurs are thinking, oh, I've got some time off from my day job, I can kind of trade the markets, that kind of get involved. So although it's an amateur up bar stuff, which is typically weak when you see this type of stuff kind of heading into the highs, you know, it's kind of weak. But after we've had this explosive pattern, they can't make it sink, can't allow it to sink all that much lower. This is where they were interested, you know, 50 to 50, you know, 250, something like that is where they're interested. They've got to hold anything that comes back into that zone. They would see that as a good buying opportunity, the professionals, and then break it back up 55. So it's not happened yet, but I think it's still on its way, so still you know, kind of positive about the crude picture. Anyway, so there we go. I'll tag on that day trade. Do hope your trading is going well. Good luck for 2017, and Happy New Year to you. Okay, just got long 50 even, long 50 even. Just checking my stops and targets. And we're kind of fighting at this level. We've got support 45, 48. 48 on the intermediate and the highest time frame. Blue professional bar potentially jumping the creek there. We've got exhaustion sell bullish divergence kind of coming in this level around here is holding. So I'm looking for a break above resistance to break us back into an uptrend. We've still got confirmed strength from back here. That's the break. Here we go, blue fresh bars, blue fresh bars. Okay, we've not seen any blue, and here 4500. We've not seen any of these blue professional bars since the open on 1500 and the high up here. And I was wondering whether the low was actually in, because we hadn't seen them pick it up at these lows here and here. But picking it up here and taking us through resistance, kind of breaking us up into an uptrend, they were just kind of anxious to get on board. So that's maybe enough to kind of hold it and propel us into an exhaustion buy situation on 1500. So a little bit unusual that there was nothing kind of down here on this intermediate time frame. Anyway, so that's our first sign of strength. Let's hope the retrace isn't going to be anything much, because it's a kind of a breakaway move. Can't afford to pull back much. There's that highest time frame PB support come in, that one there. So let's come in. Alright, see where we go. Alright, well this is a big read. We've got an 8,000. It's actually signaled an exhaustion signal on 500, but I think that's explosive volume kind of getting the move going. Look at this little cluster. Blue professional bars, little gathering, kind of waiting just to explode high. The reason why it should go high is it's tight in the lows and not being touched. So they're just absorbing everything that kind of comes in right there. So the average trade size kind of bumps up. So there it is. It's almost like a little hook. There's a double here on 4,500. So here we go, breaking above it. We got 901. This is the ISM manufacturing number and construction number kind of coming out. This high for today is 54 even, which is where my target is, and this one is 55 and a quarter. Just making a note of that. If we get this right, we'll move that target out because it'll blast some stops above 54. Okay, we're having a little bit of weakness here because we've got rainbow patterns kind of come up, but we got a resistance of 52. This is the explosive volume kind of getting us going, so we should blast through there. And I'm going to move my target out to 56, which I know is a bit of a stretch. So bearish volume divergence kind of coming. Not worried about that because that volume, whoops, what am I doing? There we go. This volume here was buying that move, getting it going, breaking it out. So this is just playing off that exhaustion, explosive volume getting it going. To end a move, we'd have to see that at new highs. Alright, let's do this, move the target. Alright, initial target 54 has just been hit. I've moved it out to 56. Reason for that, it's we'll have stops here and maybe stops above here. So we're 55. Blue professional bar kind of coming in here and one up here, so but we haven't seen any pullback to end of trends even on this time frame. So come on, and bingo, out at 56 just as it screams higher to 57 and a quarter. Whoa. And no pullback to end of trend move, so out too early, no doubt, but 6 points, happy with that. So a bit of mucking around this morning. First trade was a loss of half point going long, then kind of breaking trade. There's actually a quarter point loss on the second trade, kind of going short, and then geez, this thing just took off. Alright, oh well, them's the breaks. Still showing strength. There we go, exhaustion buy. Okay, so that's kind of the twin. This is the exhaustion buy getting it going with that little gathering pattern. This is the exhaustion blow off move. So explosive volume, exhaustion volume, and then it's got to put in the pullback to end of trend. So it'll be interesting to see where we go today. Bunch of blue professional bars though at the highs. Anyway, happy with that. First trading day of the year.